right, we might as well get started. So I know there's a few of us that have more than one with them, so we got a decent little group here. But so I'm going to hand it over to Vince. Again, Vince with Listing to Leads. We'll let him, go through everything. Don't hesitate. I'll watch chat, so don't hesitate to throw something in chat. And if it's okay with you, Vince, at the end we can open it up for anybody that that has any questions. So otherwise, I'll let you take it over.
Okay. Well, let me ask this question. Wayne, are you recording this?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Okay. And then if people are asking questions and you happen to see them and they're relevant to what we're talking about right then, I'd say bring them in, because it's not like I have a little recording I'm about to turn on here. And it's real time here. So let me share my screen and say welcome and thanks for having me here, right? You guys have been working with us for a long time, and we definitely appreciate what's going on, but there's always, that kind of element of software for a staff, for a team. And what do they know? Do they actually use it? And why would you actually use it, right? And so we're Listings to Leads, and just to give you a little background, we've been around for, I think 11 years now. And we started the company, in the last economic crash, and now we're here at the next one. And what's really cool about right now is we have had so much experience that we have gone from what I would just say collecting leads, collecting email addresses, collecting phone numbers or addresses, and actually getting some real strategies that are helping our clients grow their business. And so if there's anything I can get you guys to understand, and I am going to show you some examples here, a little bit of investment of your time and maybe a little bit of marketing dollars will get you thousands of people to see you, but also get you a lot of buyers and a lot of listings. And so whether you have listings or whether you don't have listings, there are tools in the system for you. You can borrow listings. You can work with FSBOs. If you have your own listings, they should automatically flow in. And we have really a lot of strong elements. We've got probably the most powerful social media stuff going on right now. Facebook, we're auto posting to YouTube. We can auto post to your LinkedIn and your Twitter accounts. We can auto post to a few of your business and community pages, or all of them. So we can do a lot of things automatically, and everything that we do always has a focus on capturing leads. So what I'm going to show you now is, let me turn off this. I forgot. Sorry, guys. It's still early here. What I'll tell you this is there are more than 50 tools in Listings to Leads. And probably right now, I would say we're going to add more tools every week for probably a month or two. We've got more. Our tech schedule is just dropping. We've got a lot of great things to help agents be more productive, more visible to their target markets, and more effective in capturing leads. So when you go to listingstoleads.com, I want to just point out, just to get an idea, you can scroll down and see what's going on in our system. Now, there are three things I'm going to kind of tell you about that I want you to remember today. But remember, there are many more tools, and we'll kind of scroll through a little bit here, and you can sort of see it on your own. But there is something that we call a 3-click ad generator for Facebook. This is remarkable. If any of you understand why you need to be running ads on Facebook, or if you run ads on Facebook, there are kind of two camps regarding Facebook advertising for realtors. There are people that spend money and have great results, and there are many people who spend money and get 0 results or 1 result, and they waste a lot of time and a lot of money. So we just launched our 3-click ad generator, which is specifically designed for realtors. It's inside Listings to Leads. I am going to show it to you. It's awesome. It helps you get both buyers and seller leads, whether they're your listings or they're borrowed listings or things like that. We've got automated social media stuff. So you can kind of look at some of the things, automated home valuation ads, automated down payer assistant ads. new construction ads, landing pages for every listing. So a lot of things, you know, single property websites, virtual tours. There's even a chat bot if you've got, you know, if you want that kind of super techie stuff where this little software starts asking questions back and forth, and it can create better leads because it's asking questions just real time. Text IVR we have. I will point out that, you know, the postcard door hanger thing, you probably have these. I am going to point it out. It's one of our print stuff, oddly enough, is our top way of getting listing leads that turn into contracts. So there are a lot of companies out there that can get you addresses. You can go run ads on Facebook and get a lot of address people interested in selling their home. When you start using our print tools, you'll find that these are not, you're not going to get as many leads, but you're going to get plenty of leads. So this is it here, the print flyer for nearby homeowners. I'm going to dive into this. So I'm not going to scroll us through this whole thing here, even though I'm almost done, but I am going to go to the bottom. And Wayne, there's something here that I recommend that everybody, that you guys have this available. And when you go to the bottom of our website, there's something that says blogs. It's the quick links here. And I don't know if I know how to chat with this thing where I would send it to you, but there is an article, I think it's actually a few articles, Realtors Stuck Inside with Time on Your Hands. This is a really valuable resource, actually. It's what Scott and I, kind of when the whole COVID lockdown started all over the country, we thought, you know what, people are at home, let's start doing really in-depth training for all of our systems. So I want to kind of just give you what's on this. Automated marketing for lead gen for listings, if they're borrowed or yours, which is how do you market listings, right? And again, how do you get buyers and sellers when you don't have listings? All right, the top 7 seller tools for seller lead gen, right? So the top 7 tools to help you capture listing leads. How to use video and virtual showings or things like Matterport. If you're investing in anything like a professional videographer, drone video, Matterport, or other kind of 3D stuff, those are great tools. People like to look at them. There's a reason why you invest in them, but none of those companies as standalone companies can capture leads. So this video covers how you can take those and embed them in our systems, market with our tools, and capture leads and be surrounded by that. And then automated social media marketing with landing pages, cold database leads into buyers and sellers. We've got tools that will actually help do that get people to raise their hands if you're already dripping on them. If you've got hundreds or thousands of leads in your CRM somewhere and they're not really turning into business, that number 7 there will do it. Free and cheap lead gen for sellers and buyers. That's exactly what it is. So there are a lot of things that you don't actually need to spend money on to get buyer and seller leads. And if you want to, you know, learn that, well, watch that there. Geographic and referral lead gen. It's really, how do you market your farm, right? You have probably a handful of farms that you need to or want to grow your business in. There are tools specifically designed that. And then number 10 is Facebook ad review, which we kind of talk about. We troubleshoot ads. People get on and we talk about it. But so all that being said, these are great resources. They are at the bottom of our website in the blog section. And you can find that at the bottom of our website. And I'll tell you this, like, I'm going to now show you our mastermind group. It's another great resource. If you're going to use our system, and I'm going to show you right now why I think you need to use our system, you need to be in this mastermind group. It is a private group. It is almost impossible to find on Facebook. The easiest way to get in this, and Wayne, I'm going to invite you to find me. I'm going to somehow get, so this is me. My name is Vincent Meza, M-E-Z-A. I'm in Lafayette, California, and I'm the VP of Sales for Listings to Leads. So if you find me and friend me, and then I'll go, oh, and I'll toss you in the group, and you can invite your team in, and then we'll approve it. That's the fastest way, because there's some places inside the account where it says join the group, and it's just not that effective. So it's kind of a bit of a black hole for some reason. Sometimes it works great. But I want to show you a couple of top things in this mastermind group, and then tell you what we're going to really dive into here. Right. One is this top strategy. We've got three things. My Farm Dominator. This is how to borrow listings and market them. For if you don't have listings, it's a tool specifically designed for you. The 3-click ad generator, which I'm going to show you. It's how to run an ad like super easy. And then this strategy of how to get listings with our home value reports. This guy here, Chris Winstead, I don't know if you can see him. He's actually, he's been pretty popular for the past week in our mastermind group. So this is where our clients are telling us what's going on, what they're doing, what successes, and even what things are not working for them, right? Like, I'm trying to do this. And so here's somebody that says, hey, just listed. This is somebody's ad. And I think we're actually just showing that, you know, they got a bunch of leads with this. $30 spent, 2,500 people reached, 670 clicks, 72 buyer leads for 42 cents a lead, right? So she put down $30 and got 72 buyer leads with this. And so we're just sort of talking about that. But what I want to show you is actually from the guy, Chris. So this is a 3-click ad generator. There's a little video. I'm going to walk you through it, but you can actually see this here. Pat Motley is talking about, she just said this, just sold flyers to a condo, 100 flyers, and she's got 2 listings out of it. This is the same flyer I'm going to be repeating. So that's the letter that we call a nearby homeowner letter. But I want to find this one by Chris, and then we'll kind of jump into the deal here. Well, this is My Farm Dominator. Remember, so I said there's 3 things. This was released in July, and this guy, Paul, came in like in less than a week and said, My Farm Dominator for the win. And he shows a screenshot of the leads coming into his follow-up box and into his mail, right? And so somebody asks the question, well, what are you spending for these? Now, I am going to show you how My Farm Dominator works, but we'll just look at this real quickly and answer that question because it's important. He says, I boost every property for 6 to 8 days for $10 to $15. A popular listing will get me 20 to 25 leads. So that's about 50 to 75 cents an email address, good long-term database building and retargeting work, right? So he is taking, with this My Farm Dominator, pulling listings into his account, running ads, boosting them, and getting just a bunch of buyer leads, right? So that's good. But this is really also the thing that I wanted to show you. This is Chris Winstead, who came in the group on August 26th and said, I've been farming my own neighborhood for 3 months, and I've already got 5 deals out of it. I'm posting these videos in our neighborhood Facebook groups as well. Thank you. So he's making these videos. He's running ads on them for everybody in his farm market, right, in his neighborhood. And then he says, but that's not what's actually making it happen, right? So that's not why he's got 5 deals in 3 months in his neighborhood. He says what he's doing is he sends out this letter that I'm about to show you every week to neighbors who have owned their home for 5 years or more. Now, on that letter, there's a little place where you can capture home value leads. He says, once they opt in, I consistently contact them every week with phone calls, bomb letters via mail, and I even drop letters off at the door, right? So this guy is capturing seller leads with our tool, and he's running these ads, and what he's actually told us is, like, you know, people are just seeing him everywhere. So if you imagine every time your target market, they go on Facebook, they see you talking, and then every week you're sending them a letter, somehow they're gonna register that you're for real, right? And that you're a real estate professional. That's what this guy is doing. And in his own neighborhood, he's saying, hey, in 5 months, or in 3 months, I've got 5 deals. So that's a real thing. And this is him yesterday saying, hey, here's the letter. It's an actual report, Increase Your Home Value Report, which is a report that we create that you can download in your account. And he's printing them and he's taking them over to the people who he collected those leads from. So that's it. For him, it's like he's got a way of marketing with video, taking a tool I'm about to show you, getting it in the market, capturing seller leads, and then just relentlessly, following up, follow up, and it's creating deals. And so it's a really simple, straightforward story. Let's go into listings to leads and see where some of these fun things are. If you don't have a way to log in, Wayne, we might want to email if you know how to log into the office account, because then you can see the agents and you can kind of resend them their login codes and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
I'll make sure I do that after the call, and I'm sure I'll get folks that are interested or haven't even signed up. So I'll make sure I do that after.
Sure. Okay. So when you come in, I'm going to click this button here, and you won't have to do this, but when you come in, it should look just like this. All right. And these are what we call our get started wizards. You could watch a little video here for 5 minutes, and it's going to show you how to set this up. But I'm going to blast through it really quickly to explain what we're doing. So I also want to explain, some of you may have logged in and used our system before, and others of you might not have. Either way, go through this, because we've created a lot of new technology over the past year. And unfortunately, the way we did it is we put like one thing over here and we put one thing over here, and you'd have to go find it and click and go down here. And we know that that is maddening and not a good design. So we put a wizard right here on the front page when you log in to turn on and connect some of these pieces, right? So we're going to finish your profile. We're going to connect your social media. We can pull in listings, and that'll bring us to My Farm Dominator. We can create a home valuation landing page and share that. And so in all this setup, we're going to pull in listings, connect social media, and we can actually, that will automatically post listings and also create a home valuation page and post that. So let's get started. First, it's going to say finish profile. You might need your updated picture. You might need your license number. Maybe you need your state. If not, just click next, right? Your logo for the office should be here, but if you need your title or if you need the office phone, it's self-explanatory. Add it and click next. Legal, if your MLS requires some sort of legal language, it would go there. And make sure your time zone is right, because we have timers in some of our tools, and I'll show you that in a moment. So you want those timers to be related, to your stuff. So now your profile is set. It says, let's connect your social media. And this is a really important piece. For us to do the automated posting, you need to connect to your social media accounts. Now, as you can see, I'm connected. I'm sorry I didn't disconnect it, and we could redo it. But basically, you click that first button, it takes you to Facebook, and it says continue as your name. And you say yes, right? So Wayne would click yes, it's me, Wayne. And then it takes you to the next page, which is, great, what are your business pages that you want to post to? And you can have multiple community pages and business pages. And that's what it'll do. And then you just click yes, 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 boom. And then you come back and connect Twitter, and you come back and connect LinkedIn. I want to tell you this about Twitter and LinkedIn. This is automatically posting. I will show you in a couple minutes what these posts look like. It's good for you in a listing presentation to be able to say, I'm completely on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and YouTube, and even Instagram, right? These are 5 of the top social media platforms that pretty much everybody knows about. To be able to speak effectively for all 5 puts you in a category of social media marketing that frankly not many agents can do. And we do it for you automatically by just connecting it right here, all right? So we'll click next. It shows you the pages. Yeah, that's fine. This is showing you what a post will look like. Now, I don't know if you can see this. There's some parentheses that are going to dynamically pull in your name, the city, the status of the home, things like that. You don't need to do anything. This is pretty much set. Down here are hashtags, and you can kind of leave these alone, but I will say this: if you have a hashtag like Rockstar Realtor in your neighborhood, add it right here so that every time we post it out, we're reinforcing that brand you're trying to build, all right? You don't have to, but if you have that sort of thing, like a team name, go ahead and add it there. Done. And then it says, great, let's get some listings in. Now, most of you, because we've been working with you for a while, we can auto sweep your listings. If you have listings that are not being swept into the system, I recommend that you go to the top here where it says support and type right there in that box, hey, I have a listing active right now at 123 Main Street. Could you go find it and put it in my account? There's a connection. There's some codes that we should have for you. So if your listings are not flowing in, but you have active listings, just go to support and say, here's an address, please connect me to my listing. But you can also put in your MLS email, and that would be effectively do the same thing. And that's the email that you log into your MLS with. So that's how you get your listings. And most of you won't need it because we've been working together for a while. It should be connected. But then there's this button here that says, I don't have listings, right? So what do you do with that? Well, that takes us to My Farm Dominator, which is a very new tool. And let's just click on it and see what it is. It tells you what's a saved, it says, let's save a search, right? So I'm going to type in Orinda. Orinda would be a name of a town. You might have 4 or 5 towns that you want to build a presence in, and you have no business. You don't have any listings there. So what are you going to do? You're just sort of dead in the water. Well, in this case, I've got a little town called Orinda. It's kind of a bedroom community, and I definitely want to grow my business there. So if I use this and I type in Orinda, only I see that. But in location, I'm going to type in Orinda, California. And I'm going to say I want to see all single family homes with a status of both just listed and active. And I want a minimum of 2-bedroom home and a minimum price of 300 grand. And I'm going to click for sale. All right. And when I do this, this shows me all the properties. And we'll give it, let's just go, man, that is a pricey neighborhood. Lord have mercy, excuse me. All right, so I'm going to import and save, but you can actually pull in a whole bunch of listings. You can pull in 5 or 10. Now, you may not want 10, but if you've got 3 or 4 neighborhoods, you might want 5 in each neighborhood, and sort of like put some different stories out there, right? Now it says, great, it's doing that in the background. Let's get seller leads. So what is a seller lead about? Well, a home valuation page is really it. Since I'm pulling in listings for Orinda, I'm going to say Orinda. And you could drop in the zip code for Orinda, which I don't know, and create landing page. And the landing page is going to look like this, right? It's got a coffee cup and a computer, a little notebook. That's a really generic background picture. I really recommend that you have a picture of Orinda in the background. And I'll tell you, like I said, it's a bedroom community. Orinda has this really cute downtown with an old theater in it. That's, like the old big marquee. It's really old fashioned. A picture of that on the back of this would tell me my neighborhood. So having a good background picture is important. Click done when you've got that in, and then it says, good, let's get this out to social media. That's what it's telling you. So next, you kind of recognize that. If you updated the photo, it would put the photo. All you got to do is click through it, and then it says post now or schedule, right? So clearly, you know what that's about. We can post it or we can schedule. So I'm just going to type here real quickly in all caps for demo purposes only. And I'm going to post it now. And that's the wizard. All right. So that's the wizard. So we'll go find that out on the internet in a couple minutes. What I just did is I connected all the social media. We pulled in listings. We're even borrowing listings using My Farm Dominator. And we created a landing page and put it out all at once. So let's go over and let's talk about this other super important piece, which is ads. There's a green button here that says new, and it says ads. And this, for me, it's honestly a game changer in real estate advertising. And let me give you a roundabout way of getting there. This is Facebook. Now, I don't know, I don't even know if you guys even go on Facebook, right? I don't know if you like it, if you hate it, because there are definitely different kinds of realtors, right? There are some that like spend all day on it, and there are others that just think it's an affront and they don't want to be on it, right? And they just think it's goofy and whatever. What I want you to know about Facebook is 70% of Americans spend 45 minutes to 1 hour every day on Facebook. 30% of all time on mobile phones in the world, in the United States, is in Facebook. So, you know, a lot of people have these fancy smartphones here. 30% of time on these dumb things is spent on this dumb website. So the point of that is like, this is where your target market is they spend 40 minutes to an hour every day here. So while you may like it or don't like it, it is a really effective way of building a brand, of marketing your properties and capturing leads. Now I'm going to go over here if I can remember how. Yeah, this is how you had to create an ad. And I'm not going to go, you see it's totally changed. It's totally changed. I don't even know how you create an ad anymore because Facebook changes their web page at least every 48 hours. But I'll tell you this. So I mentioned earlier, we've been creating, we've been in the business for over 10 years. Facebook advertising has not been around as long as Listings to Leads. They are a much bigger platform, way more popular than Listings to Leads, so it's way more relevant. And what I can tell you about creating an ad, and forgive me for not even knowing where I can create an ad here anymore. Let me see, this is really ridiculous. There are two camps for people who run ads on Facebook. Some who are successful as agents and others who are not. They're both spending money. They're taking time and clicking buttons and think they're doing it correctly, and they don't get approved, or it just gets a bunch of clicks but no leads. And that's because there are so many buttons inside of Facebook, because that ad platform is for the entire universe. You could be selling cars, you could be selling skateboards, bicycles, mattresses, perfume, candles. Facebook is designed for everybody, not just for realtors, right? And that is a maddening experience, especially if you're not super tech savvy, right? But you do need to be there because your target market is there. So that's why we just released this 3-click ad creator, all right? And there are two kinds of ads today that you can create. You can create a listing ad and you can create a landing page ad. I'm gonna create 2 listing ads right now. And all you do is you click the button, you choose the property. Remember, I just pulled that one in Orinda. I'm going to click create an ad. And it shows us immediately, this is what the ad looks like right here. All right. Now, I want to point out, in My Farm Dominator, there are actual rules about how you can use somebody's listing if it's not yours, right? And we built My Farm Dominator with our national partner, ListHub. And ListHub basically said, yeah, if you're going to allow other agents to just borrow listings, you need to have their phone number and name on it, right? So it's courtesy of the actual listing agent. But if they click on this link or they click on this photo, it's going to take them to a landing page where we capture the lead and give it to you, okay? You'll notice that here it's sponsored by Listings to Leads. It's not going to be sponsored by us. It's going to be sponsored by your business page. So an ad, now I could walk you through all these things here. If you want to type in something different in this box, it's going to show up in this box. But all you really need to know is you need to type in the location. That is it, which is Orinda, right? So I want this home to show up in Orinda and a radius of 15 miles. The standard is 15 miles, and I'm going to point this out. I don't know where you guys live, like geographically in the US, but you might want people who live 30 miles out to see this home. If you mark it that far out, then that's where you change that. Down here is the budget. We default to $35 for 7 days. You could make it for 1 day for $5. It should be minimum $5 a day, otherwise it won't get approved. So I tell every agent, and I'm going to tell you this, I tell every agent I speak with, you should be running at least one $20 ad for 4 days every week. All right. And wherever you are, you should be doing that. You should be marketing any listing. Your listing could be just listed, open house, pending, or sold. When the status changes, the call to actions go from getting buyers when it's open house and just listed to sellers when it's pending and sold. So it's wise to market that marketing sold listings because it's designed to get more listing leads. So you set the date and time here. Otherwise, it's 7 days for 35 bucks. If you run a $20 ad, I'll just tell you this, not a $35 ad. If you run a $20 ad for 4 days, 2,000 to 3,000 people are going to see this. And that's your branding, right? Some, maybe few dozen will click on it and you will get leads from that. That's the goal of this. And all you need to do is choose your address, type in the town, and click submit, publish. That's it. Then you're good. So let's go back. And that is the property that's for sale. It's one that I borrowed, so it wasn't even my listing. It's representing the agent as it should, but all the lead capture comes back to me. I'm going to do one more here. And I just mentioned it a moment ago. You should market properties as they're sold for a couple of reasons. One, the call to actions are designed to get home valuation leads. Two, selling a home is a really great statement. You know this. I've seen agents put many colorful things on Facebook, right? To say, oh, I sold this great home. You want to tell that story, but you want some lead capture behind it. For us, we definitely want that. And if you click on this little page, this picture here, this ad, it's going to end up showing, it's going to drive them to a page that's going to say, hey, would you like your free home value, right? Give us your address and give us your contact info. And again, I'm going to type in Lafayette. This home is in Lafayette, which is, as you can probably imagine, well, it's about 5 minutes from Orinda. So if I run this ad, boy, this thing really, that's so weird. It does not like the word Lafayette. I live in Lafayette, guys, so it always throws this error when I do any other town other than, let's just try this. Let's just try this. Yeah, okay. Anyway, put the town there and publish. Now, I could give you a long story about how you can change all these things, but honestly, you don't need to. But one thing, when you're marketing something that's sold, you want people to click this, right? So I am saying it's very easy. Choose the address, choose the town, publish. But if you've sold a property, there's probably something more compelling about that than Scott or I know here, right? Maybe you had 8 offers. Maybe you've got a bunch of people that wanted to buy it, still looking for a home. Maybe you sold this home in 5% above asking. Maybe it was 10% above the Zillow estimate. Maybe it was, I can't remember. There's all kinds of fun things that gets people excited about properties. You know that detail, right? I don't know it. And so if there's a detail like that, you know, I would recommend that you put it here, right? You know, in contract in 5 days. You know, I talk to a lot of realtors and they will call me and say, Vince, I don't have anything to advertise. All my properties just sold. Like I just had a property go in contract in 5 days. I was like, well, that's exactly what you got to talk about. Because, you know, guys, when somebody wants to sell a home, I think that experience is right up there close to root canals. This is not a fun thing to do, right? And you got to explain to people, I can do it fast and I can make sure you get a lot of money. If you can make it easy for them and tell them that this is the place to do it. It is not a TV ad unless you got a super huge budget. This is 20 bucks to say, or 35 or whatever you want, to say, hey, you know what? I got multiple offers on this. I got it sold in 7 days or in 2 weeks or something. That is a really compelling story. And that's something that you want to share. And you can do it very easily right here with this ads tab. Okay. Now you can also create ads right here for landing pages. And our clients are starting to do this. We just released this last week. Home value ads, down payer assistance ads, and new construction, right? And then any kind of home valuation ads. You have multiple home valuation pages. So it's taking our landing pages and creating ads, setting up the buttons properly so you don't get blocked, right? And so that works. So let's go over to the landing page section here. And I'm going to have a sip of coffee and then I'm going to kind of wrap up. a little bit of a couple of things just so we know what we've been talking about. We've talked about 3-click ad poster and that it is super awesome. We have talked about My Farm Dominator, and I'm going to go over here to my listings page. And your listings flow in automatically, but when they have this little map thing here, it means that they came in from My Farm Dominator. So what we will talk about at the end of this call is how you actually market a listing and what you need to do. But I'm going to pop over here real quick on this property that is an open house, because when we're running the ads like we just did, I want you to know what's behind the ad. When the home is designed to capture buyer leads, when it's just listed or when it's active or open house, you see this thing here, you see this, click the eyeball here to view it. This is what we call a listing landing page. It's designed to capture buyer leads and send them to you. Because it's an open house, there's this ticking time bomb thing over here on the left, right? And so for me as a consumer to get the information about this, I got to click this button, continue with Facebook. So I'm going to click this now and I want you to watch this. It's going to ask me for my phone number and I can give it to you or not give it to you. Then the page is going to say thank you. And I don't know if you can see it, I just got a buyer lead. And then we drop them on the single property website automatically, right? So all these tools are mobile optimized, but it is designed, that is the #1 tool for capturing buyer leads. Oh, I'll just happen to show you. You can't hear it, but there's a little commercial going on down here because this agent, Lynn, has this cool video talking about why you need to work with her. She's just awesome, right? So you can snap these kinds of things in here. And I want to point out one more thing. This is a property to talk about an open house, right? We noticed that there was that ticking clock. But notice that there's a big old footer here about what is your home worth. And halfway down the page, I didn't mention it, is another big graphic for what is your home worth. And then I've got a link over here in my signature above my picture that says, what is your home worth, right? Here's my Lafayette Homes and Lafayette Homes under 800K. But what in the world is all this what is your home worth thing about? This is a really big and important part of listings to leads, is that, you know, it's like Scott and I just butt our heads on common sense. What is really going on in real estate marketing? And what are people looking for when they're out looking at properties? Now, obviously, a lot of people looking at properties are looking to buy a home. But you know what? When somebody wakes up in the United States and wants to sell their home, you know what they don't do? They don't pick up the phone and start randomly calling realtors all over from the internet or a phone book or a sandwich board. They just start researching. They just start going on the internet and go, okay, well, what's going on in my town? What are homes selling for? If they come across one of our tools, well, they can learn about these homes, but they're also going to get multiple opportunities to find out what their own home is worth. And these tools are designed for your sellers. They're designed for social media. They're designed for print. So anyway you market your listings, you're going to find that you can get more listings. I also want to point out that this follow this homepage, which pops up automatically. Notice it is designed to capture buyers, right? For 3 days, I got an open house. But then it says right here, do you own a home? Yes or no? If you don't answer that question, you can't actually, get the information. If it says yes, do you need to sell it in order to buy one? So these are really obvious questions that you might want to know. And for a lot of realtors, they don't know that. They are working with people as buyer leads for weeks or months, and then they realize, oh, you actually own a home, and So our tools are designed to do that, and to kind of, I'm going to take a breath, even though it sounds like I'm not taking a breath. I'm going to show you something in the mastermind group that was a question. It was a question that came in from this woman here, Terry Wicks Coleman. It came in last summer, and we had never heard of her, but it's a good question. She said, "Hey, who here is listing two listings or more every month strictly from listings to leads tools? Who is getting 2 more listings every month? two or more, right? And of course, a bunch of our clients jump in, right? And this guy, Dustin, says we average 2 listings from each marketed listing, all from L2L tools, all right? So we're trying to get that to above 3 this year. So he wants to get, every time he markets a listing, he's getting 2 more and not wants to have 3 more listings. Of course, you're going to get buyers because everything is wired to get buyers. This lady here says, hey, I did the print flyer that I mentioned earlier, Nearby Homes, received 2 listings from it. She actually got, and she says, I got 4 more in the next week. This letter is super powerful, and it's one of many tools, right? And what happened after that, when he said, I got 2 and I'm expecting 3, Terry says, what's the one tool? I just want to do one thing. And he says, the best tip I can give you is do everything on this checklist and don't overthink it, just do it, right? And the checklist he is talking about is this checklist, which we create automatically for you, right? And I don't want you to do everything. And I can tell you, Dustin doesn't do everything, but he does these things. He puts things on social media. He runs ads on them. You kind of saw that. And now you know how to run an ad really quickly with 3 clicks. He uses the seller tools. And this is where he says, don't overthink it. This seller tool is something we email to you automatically. If you're like most of our clients, you ignore this tool. You don't want to read our instructions and you don't use it. You don't realize that this tool will help you get listings that you, and it's like, it's a free ad. It's not something that disappears like a typical ad. And these are really high quality leads because it's not from you. It's from your client talking about their home and you. So let me see if I can put this on here to show you really quickly what I'm talking about. That tool, it's called social media for the seller. So we auto post to your social media. We've given you a 3-click ad for your social media. So you're taken care of, you know. But one of the reasons, you know, we exist today is we capture a lot of leads for our clients. But I can tell you, our clients really prefer referrals much more than they, you know, like collecting email addresses. So when you put this on here, it might seem a little confusing because my name is Vincent Meza and it's talking about me, Vincent Meza, but this is really should be your client telling their friends about you at your office, right? And this just stays here for the day that their relatives or their colleagues or their friends log into Facebook and go, oh, they're selling their home and who's their realtor? And if they click on it, well, you kind of know what's going to happen. We're going to drive them somewhere to capture a lead, right? So that tool is often neglected. It is one of the strongest tools for capturing listing leads because as I'm somebody's friend and I click through and you do offer me my home value, I now know like this isn't a random internet lead. This is coming from my friend on Facebook because they're working with the same professional, i.e. you, right? So that's a great tool. You are with, Wayne, you are with ERA, right? That's still the case?
Correct.
Yeah. So I tell you guys, ERA they're owned by Realogy. Realogy is an interesting kind of parent company or a big corporate company, but they have this cool syndication platform that is not always available to you at the agent level at your desk, but it's called Dash or something like that. And you can take our lead gen virtual tour and drop it in there and they'll syndicate this out. Now this virtual tour looks a lot like our single property website. So I won't point out all the places that this is going to capture leads for you, but this has got all the same lead capture that I just showed you on the single property website. The cool thing about Dash is they will syndicate this out to the top portals that you know, but it also will syndicate it out to the competitor Realogy brands. So if you got Coldwell Banker in your neighborhood or Century 21 or Sotheby's, and they're showcasing your listings, which they are because of broker reciprocity. Well, if somebody inquires about that home on a Coldwell Banker site, that lead goes to their agents. But if this virtual tour accompanies your listing to Coldwell Banker or Sotheby's or Century 21, well, this thing only captures leads for you. So you can only use this if it's your listing. And if you're really interested in getting people, you know, and getting more buyers, I recommend that you take this one time, copy the lead gen one here. We actually email it to you, so you can copy it from your email, put it in Dash, and then forget about it. There's an e-flyer for your database, which is for your CRM. If you're somebody with hundreds or possibly thousands of people in your CRM and they're not calling you all the time, drop one of these in once a week at least, and you will see that people click these links and become either buyer leads up here or a seller lead right here. And then on this list is a print marketing section. And this is what you really absolutely must get your arms around. Nearby homeowner letter. If you are an agent that wants more listings, this is the letter, this is the tool, the number one tool for getting listing leads that turn into contracts. Okay? If you're into collecting addresses from the internet, use our home valuation page and go run an ad on Facebook. You will collect addresses. You will then need to learn how to convert those and get the contact info and do all those things. But what our clients are doing across the country, and it's been going on for years, and it's happening, that's what that guy Chris was talking about earlier, is they're taking this letter that we create for you automatically, and they are mailing it or door knocking it, and they're leaving it in the neighborhood where they're selling homes. And if let's say you don't have a home, like you don't have a listing, but Wayne over there, who's super busy, he's got a listing in a neighborhood where you want to build your business, and go, hey, Wayne, can I go borrow your listing and go market it? Pull that listing into your account, really easy on the listings page. This letter will be created. You can print it, you can download it and print it. You could door knock it. You can mail it. However you want to get it in the market, that is the number one tool. And I'll tell you, there are companies like I'm sure you've heard of, like Bold Leads, Boomtown, Prime Seller Leads, Home Value Leads, plenty of great companies that will sell you a page like this, okay? And they'll charge you hundreds of dollars a month, like easily $500 to $700 a month to go run ads for you with a page that looks like this. You never see it, you don't have to touch it. And you know what's awesome about that is it's fully automated. It is a fully automated way for you to blow $500 to $700 every month. You don't even have to think about it. It's just leaving your bank account. It is not a way of getting listing leads that become listing contracts. We've got the same exact kinds of tools. Our clients have been running ads. We have been training on running ads on home valuation ads on Facebook for years. We know it inside now. And yes, you can capture home value leads. And yes, I would tell you to do this. I would tell you, go out and run these, because there's a different value, which is creating your brand. And yeah, you will get some people that will turn into it. But if you need listing leads that are going to turn into business, this is the letter. This is the tool. It has nothing to do with the internet. It has nothing to do with Facebook advertising. It is a letter. All right. Get this in the market and go inside of our mastermind group, and you will find that there are multiple people, including that guy, Chris, including Alicia Pless, including, I mean, the names just keep going, because it is a super effective, easy way of doing it. All right. So guys, these are the things I kind of want you to know. You can market your listings. We've got My Farm Dominator to help you if you don't have any listings. We've got a whole open house toolkit. I kind of show if you got open houses, get your arms around our open house stuff. The 3-click ad generator is going to save you a lot of time, money, and headache. It just is. And use this if you need listings. That letter is at the top of our tools. And I want to point out, at the beginning of the class, I mentioned that there's a blog post that says realtors stuck inside. I'm going to send this to Wayne, and hopefully he'll send it to all of you. It's at the bottom of our website in the blog section. And there is an article. If you're a listing agent, the top 7 seller lead gen tools, you can watch everything of how to use those tools right there. And at the top of that list is this letter. And that gets reinforced over and over again in our mastermind group. That's why it's at the top of our list, because our clients keep saying, I'm getting listings and listings in these neighborhoods, and it's because of this letter. I could scroll down here, but and keep showing you more examples of that story. But for now, I'd just like to open it up for questions.
Anybody? I mean, it was a lot. It's so, you know, such good stuff. So I'm getting little side chats about, you know, hey, we need to have a follow-up session, and you know, so you know, I'm not sure. Please, anybody that you know, has a question or a thought, or either chat or
Yeah,
throw
and
unmute yourself and.
Yeah, and I want to repeat. So Wayne, this thing here, I'm going to email this to you, and look at the topics here, which is I went through earlier: how to market your listings, what if you don't have listings, top 7 seller lead gen tools, video or virtual showings. There's a lot of what you want to know. It is all on this page, and you can sort of take off bite sizes instead of like trying to chew this whole thing at once. It is like eating an elephant, you know?
No, I love those. And that was definitely, yeah. So if you do send those, that'd be great. Cause then I'll post them with the video, and, you know, we'll definitely, you know, be staying with it and working with some agents for sure. Cause I'm sure there's quite a few that are, interested in, you know, in some or all of the pieces. So.
Yeah. A lot of them, you know, it's kind of wacky, me jumping around, but a lot of these things, you turn on the automation and they just start going out, right? So it's, you know, me, I have to show you where everything is, but in the end, that first section where it's like connect the wizard, that will turn on a ton of automation. That's been in this account for a while, but you may not have known that. So if there are no questions, Wayne, I just want to say thanks to everybody for hanging out with me, and, you know.
Hey, Vince.
Yes.
I got a question. My name's Pat. Is the 14-day trial, is that access to everything? Does that allow you to send out, you know, the
Yes.
farm letter? Does that allow you to do publish a listing?
Yep.
Or are you still paying the fees in that 14-day? Or what?
Well, okay. So, well, first of all, if you're part of this office, I think they have this as part of for all the agents, but maybe they don't. But the 14-day free trial has all tools included. And but let's kind of go through and kind of imagine that you go set up a trial, and you go and pull in a listing with you. Since you're with ERA, we should auto connect you, and your listing should flow in automatically. And let's just say it looks like this, and you want to create an ad. I would go up here to the ad creator page where I had shown this earlier, and say create a listing ad. Choose that listing that you want. And when we go here and create the ad, there's a budget down here, right? That's what you're paying Facebook for the ad, right? So I had said earlier, $20 is always a minimum I suggest. But, you know, if you got a super awesome home, somebody, you know, one of our clients got a $2.5 million listing. They were very excited. It's like, you might want to expand that radius, and you might want to spend more money to let many thousands of people know you're handling those kinds of properties. And she did. So that's the only place that you would be spending more money for your ads, right? Does that make sense, Pat?
Yes, it does. Thank you for answering the question. Appreciate it.
Sure. But all the other things, and there's even more tools. I can't show you everything because I'm sure your heads are spinning as it is. There are more things inside listings to leads. But if you got those elements that we talked about today, you will feel the impact. Anything else, Wayne?
I don't think so. Anybody else have anything? Nothing in chat. Anybody else want to? I'll shut up for a second and see if somebody else unmutes themselves.
I'm gonna, if anybody has a question, I'm gonna let them kind of do that. I'm going to, I want to talk a little bit about this letter, because this letter we've had for a while, but since I got you for 5 more minutes, I'm gonna, we work with a lot of coaches around the country, like Tom Ferry's coaches. I train their coaches so that they can train their clients, because, and Jared James, their coaches, we train them, and Club Wealth, and community influencer with Aaron Chung and stuff like that. And the reason that they talk about us is that they, let me see, I gotta kind of get rid of this. Okay. Their goal as a coach is to get their agents more productive, right? And you can pay them thousands of dollars a month and they'll call you and tell you what you need to do. And that's great, right? There's a reason for that. The first thing those people are saying, and they say it over and over, is go sign up with Listings to Leads, because we can do so much for you and it will help you out, right? I'm pointing out Alicia Pless because this is the exact, this lady said, today I am listing my third house in 6 months in the same subdivision. Listings to Leads works if you work it, all right? Now, there's something to be said that she says down here later, there are only 50 homes in that neighborhood. Only 50 in that subdivision. She ended up pulling out 6 listings from that same letter. And I'm gonna see if I can go back, because Alicia does this. And what I wanna point out about this letter is, one of the reasons why I mentioned all these coaches is we actually have, who is it? It's Club Wealth has a coach named Alicia Cody. And Alicia Cody, she takes this letter and mails it to 100 people, right? This letter I keep jumping up and down about. And she mails it to 100 people around every listing. And she has a bulk mailing system, right? Like, it's cheap. And so it's automated, and she mails the letters and they stuff it or do whatever. And so it's cheap. And I just want to point out something that's really, really important. It is that if this, the object of this strategy is to get people to open this letter. Alicia, who just said that she pulled out 6 listings in a neighborhood of 50 homes, she makes sure that her stuff looks super custom. This you know, kind of canary yellow envelope, you're gonna look at it. The guy Dustin Fox, who gets 3 listings for every listing that he gets, he's using this letter. He puts it in a black envelope, and not only does he do that, he bought this super fancy $5 Sharpie glitter pen, right? It's like a disco silver writing, and he handwrites, somebody is handwriting the addresses. And again, the goal is to get people to open the letter, not just mail the letter. Because when they open that letter, it's dead simple that you know how to sell homes, and they can go find out about that home in their neighborhood, and they can get their home value for free right here. You're not going to get 50 leads or 100 leads from one mailing, but you will get a handful of leads that will surprise you that they actually are going to turn into business. So I just want to leave that with you. We all want to automate our business. This particular piece of Listings to Leads, we see over and over, is the #1 way of getting listings that turn into contracts. The more custom and personal it feels, the more effective it is. And so you balance that of, I want to totally automate it, I don't want to think about it or ever touch it, or I want more business. Your choice. All right. So guys, thanks so much again for having me. Wayne, I am happy to do calls for you guys, you know, in the future too. So if we need to do this every quarter, let's do it. Or, you know.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, really good stuff. We're getting a little hammered with folks that you know, wanted this piece of it. So I know it's going to drum up some other stuff. So I'm going to start with the videos and things, but if we need anything or any, I'll make sure I reach out. But thank you so much, first of all, for late notice on even setting this up and taking the time this morning. To really appreciate it. So.
All right, and just as a follow-up, guys, my name is Vincent Meza. If you need to get in this group, Wayne, I definitely recommend, a great thing for you is to friend me here. I'll get you in, and then you can invite your team in.
Yeah, I sent you a friend request, so so yeah, and then get me in the group, and then we'll make sure everybody else gets in as well. So
Awesome. Okay, everybody. Take
all
care.
right, thank you so much, Vince. Appreciate it.
Okie dokie. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
You too. Mhm.